Hello, my dear Sagittarius. This is your love and spirituality reading for the month of August 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I read for the signs in order of most liked videos, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for your sign. You can see the order I read in this time around at the community section of my channel. The reading can go both ways, so if I tell you that you are feeling or acting in a certain way, it can be in the reverse, that the person you are dealing with is feeling and acting in that way. The energy is the same, it's just different castings to the different roles by the universe. And for this reading, I will use the Druid Craft Tarot by Philip and Stephanie Cargome, illustrated by Will Worthington, and I will start shuffling your cards. So, my dear Sagittarius. Now I will open your deck here, and I see the Hermit together with a 10 of Pentacles. So it seems like you're enjoying yourself, your home life maybe. Maybe you're working a lot, being a little bit of a loner, taking care of your both your spiritual self but also your material self. So maybe retreating to your home, putting a lot of effort into your work, maybe also can be a little bit social events as well, but it seems like you're preferring solitude or that you're forced into solitude due to some things that you need to put attention to, or maybe you don't want to settle for something that is valuable, but you feel that there's something else out there. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light, and here we see the 4 of Pentacles with the 10 of Pentacles. So 4 of Pentacles is when we kind of hide away a little bit from the praying eyes of others. It's something here that you want to keep to yourself. So you might have like a secret, or maybe you are trying to, for some of you, I'm thinking that you're choosing loneliness above something that you value real high. I can't really see the reason just yet. I just see that you are doing this. You're maybe pretending that you like to be alone, but it might have something to do with boundaries, since the 4 of Pentacles is kind of the foundation to the tower, and we can also see this is kind of a room inside the tower. You can see a little bit light is coming in there, and the 10 of Pentacles is all earth, so it's showing riches, but with the Hermit it might be that you are skipping riches because of something else, like a higher quest of some sort. There's something that you want, but you're maybe saying no to it or pretending that you don't want to have it. It's a little bit confusing, but we'll see. I called for archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and here we see the Star card with the 10 of Pentacles. So what I'm feeling here is that the social life of yours, it might be a marriage, maybe a partner that wants to commit, or you want to commit to a partner, or it might be some other kind of family situation, or a place of value can also be your work, but you are divinely guided in this situation. But I'm feeling that you are very guarded for some reason, but with the Star card it says that you can kind of trust your own instincts, your own intuition, and that the situation might not be as dangerous as you believe, or as threatening as you believe it to be. So I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Sagittarius viewers. So I want my dear Sagittarius to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Okay, so my dear Sagittarius, I will just tune into you and your energy for a few seconds here. I'm feeling that you're in some aspects are growing up and maturing, and you might not be lured in by lured in by the same things that had this great appeal on you before. And so I'm thinking you are growing up and maybe starting to meet your own needs in a way that makes you more resilient, even to stand, to be alone, even if the world is tempting you with riches. I don't know exactly why this is happening, but we'll see. Okay, so this is your future there. Future is probably last part of August or beginning of, it might be September as well. And this is the first part of August here. And this is the past. So it's it might be July or your whole life. And here we see the High Priestess also. Not only the Hermit, but also the High Priestess. So you're really walking underneath the eye of God right now. Sometimes when you need to look at the spiritual part of your world, you need to be alone. So the divine and the world might strip you away of the things that you feel is valuable, or make you value them less, so that you can be parted from these things. So God and the divine will have, God and Goddess, Mother, Father, God, and the divine will have your attention. Usually when I say God, I kind of mean like a non-gender God, but I wanted to make that clear. I don't think God has any gender. But here you are having this great connection, and it needs some kind of solitude. Sagittarius usually runs very fast and creates beautiful things as you go. But maybe here something else is calling you. Okay. And I noticed that the top card here was very stubbornly sticking in the top. So I didn't interfere with that. You heard me giggle a little bit maybe. And here is the now, and we have a Five of Swords here. So Five of Swords is battle of some sort, some disagreement, or it might be you comparing yourself to others and feeling like you have less, or you're worthless, or worthless for all that matters as well. We can see a big bird of prey chasing a little bird there. But the Five of Swords, it might feel difficult, but when we stand up for what we believe in, we kind of always win, even if we lose, lose the respect of others, for example, if we show that we don't have the same world view as they have, but we gain the respect of ourselves. So sometimes we need to stand up for something that's important. And here we have the future. So Five of Swords, Six of Swords. So it's something going on with your thinking. Sometimes when we are alone, we will have a lot of thoughts, and it might be that you need to sort these thoughts out. If you want to make this time shorter, I would advise you to start journaling what it is that you're thinking and feeling. And you can also do the exercise that I have with dealing with pain, that's in my Q&A section. Because it seems like you are working through something that you need to work through alone to be able to see things in a very clear light. With the Six of Swords, it's like going over the river Styx to meet your maker. But here it's like going over your own emotions to meet your higher self, or like get a above view on things. So it's like a little part, it's like a death in that sentence, that it's a metamorphosis you are going through here, and you're learning to see some kind of truth about yourself, and how you really feel about things, what you really want, what you really like, what you don't like, what's your real future dreams, what is just like imaginary castles that you have built up, but that's not really maybe your own longing. You might have built up things just to look grand in the eyes of others, but maybe that wasn't at all what you wanted for yourself in the end. Maybe you wanted something else. And here the truth comes, and it comes within you. So it's no truth that you have to fear. It's just the truth of how you really feel and what you really think underneath all the other things, like your conditioning, or the expectations from others, and the image that you want to send out to the world. This is the real thing, the real deal underneath all these kind of things. The first card here is the Princess of Pentacles, and that was what was keeping themselves as the first card very stubbornly. And Princess of Pentacles is like finding out who you really are, like the seed that's you, the natural you, the person you were when you came. So it's this story with the great king that had a big, beautiful place close to his castle where he wanted to put a garden. So he started to imagine this garden inside of his head, and he started to achieve and find those different seeds that he wanted and the different plants that he wanted for this garden. And eventually, after much hard work, the beautiful garden was done, and it was exactly in the way that the king wanted. But he left his garden and came back another day, and then he saw that all his plants were not happy at all. They were hanging their heads and looking miserable. And he asked, like the rose, why it wasn't happy. And the rose said, well, I want to be old and wise as the oak tree. The king went to the oak tree and asked, why are you not happy? Why are you hanging with your branches in this way? And the oak tree says, well, I want to be high and tall like the cypress. I want to be like as thin as the cypress is. And the king went to the cypress and asked, why on earth are you looking so sad, and you have lost your shine in your in the greens of you? And the cypress says, well, I want to smell good as the rose does. And then he met this little dahlia, like a little flower, and it was sparkling in its most beautiful, radiant color. And the king asked the dahlia, why are you the only creature, the only plant in my garden that's exactly as in like just being happy with being you? What's the thing here? Why are you happy and not the other plants? And the dahlia said, well, my king, if you planted me here with all your wits and grandness and your wisdom, I understood it like this, that you wanted me exactly as I am. And this is the story of the Princess of Pentacles. To not think that God made a mistake by planting you here. They did not know such thing. You are perfectly handpicked for this mission that you have on earth, and you don't have to be someone else. You don't have to compare yourself to someone else. In the Osho Zen, this card is called comparison, and it's the a big tree being compared to a bamboo that's a thinner tree, and no one is like on the losing end of that, because they have different qualities, and everyone is wanted in the exact way that they were supposed to be. And if everything was if everyone was an elephant, there wouldn't be like diversity, and we would die because we wouldn't have any food, and elephants needs a lot of food. It's about finding out who you are, and you won't have to search for it outside. You just need to see who is the natural you, who are you underneath it all. And the next card here is the Lord. So the Lord, that's the king in the garden. So you're not only the seed, you're also the king in your garden. Don't forget about that. We are all small specks of God out here to find ourselves and to experience a lot of beautiful things that we can take home with us, and therefore expand God's awareness. And here with the Lord, it shows that you not only are supposed to be your natural self, you're supposed to be in your own authority as well, and to shine your light very secure, very calm, very wise, and be more like self-assured and loving towards both yourself and others, because the Lord has a lot of responsibility over other people, and to help them feel in the same way that he does, to make them feel worthy too. okay? So we not only have you being the seed, like here, very humble, you're also your own authority in this life. You are to decide what's you and what's not you, not someone else, okay? And the Lord is about having boundaries, being stubborn, standing up for what you believe in. And here we have the Two of Wands showing even more like this. So the Two of Wands is holding your horses, having self-control, knowing when to give and when to not give, knowing when to fight for a cause and when to yield. So it's a decision-making situation where you kind of hold your horses, you hold your breath for a little while, you hold your actions for a little while, and find out in what direction you want to aim your unique and beautiful energy for this lifetime. So it's about what is worth your time and energy. What do you want to spend your life doing? What is your natural the things that's natural with you, that is your essence, okay? So why are you here? It's kind of these very big philosophical questions. What are you here to do? So it's like this room between breath, this silent situation where you are just, you know, sensing what it is that you are supposed to do. So this can be about holding also boundaries, putting up a stubborn attitude, because this is about control. It's about being on top, having control, putting your foot down, standing your ground. It's also a doorway, so it's some kind of maturity going on with you, becoming a real adult, taking responsibility for your own life, not being a victim anymore, finding out who you are, why you came, what you were supposed to do, and then go on with it, like with this it's like this feeling of being sure. So, and here you are kind of downloading this, like, who am I? What am I supposed to do? What is my natural abilities? What comes natural for me? What is it that my personal qualities are pointing at? It can be like very insignificant things. For me, Tarot, for example, was only a way of understanding my very vivid dreams. For 20 years, this was all what I did with Tarot, was to understand myself. I never thought in my wildest imagination that anyone would have any use of this, and yet I spend a lot of time with it. So it can be some insignificant thing that you think is insignificant, but it's really your natural thing, the thing that you are supposed to do. And here we have the Nine of Wands, so even more boundaries, and this is actually it's Sagittarius energy, and it comes underneath the Prince of Pentacles. So I'm thinking there's a time right now when you need to be in utter self-respect. I'm thinking about the High Priestess that is so trusting towards their own intuition and towards their connection with the divine, so they wouldn't back down for anything. Like even death wouldn't make them change their mind about where they are standing. And here we can see you protecting kind of your inner child or your inner essence, the seed that's you, against maybe questions or judgment from the outside, where they're thinking, well, is this who you are now? This doesn't look like you, and I don't even recognize you. Or maybe like people that has been used to maybe you not defending yourself and your own honor or your own vulnerability, but now you do. Here with the Nine of Wands, you have drawn a line in the sand. For some of you that's cross-watching for Sagittarius, it might be that Sagittarius is very unreachable right now. They're going through something, and you might feel like they are harsh or mean or cold-hearted, but actually they are going through a metamorphosis. So you just work with yourself, and Sagittarius will be out of this when they are ready. It's a 9, so it's connected to the Hermit card. I have been so hurt. Now I'm not going to let anyone hurt me anymore. So when we find self-love like this, and we put up like a clear boundary that's making us, it's making a little bit like a cradle for us where we can be rocked into health. So I'm thinking this is what's going on, because you are protecting yourself and creating this space where you are allowed to be you, and no one can say anything about this. So it's a perfect space for healing. And I'm thinking that it's healing that's going on here. Oh, and here we have a 7 of Wands. So not only 9 of Wands, but also 7 of Wands. This is Mars in Leo. So you're defending. It's like you are on a warrior path here. It's very intense. I guess the defend is somewhat in comparison to the attacker. So if we have this much defensive energy, I don't see like really warrior energy just yet, just this here. But this might be what you're defending yourself against, like other people's praying eyes, and they are saying to you things that will be hurtful. But for this, if someone would say, well, he never did really love you, or you were never thought of to this position anyway, you can be cool with that. You don't have to, you know, feel that these words are hurtful. You can just be, it doesn't matter if he did or didn't, or I don't care really if I was thought of for this position or not. This is what I want, and if I'm not getting it, I will move on. So you don't have to, you know, take it personally, things that people say. So you maybe don't have to have like, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 levels of defenses for this little Prince of Pentacles. It's maybe a little bit, you know, too much. I don't see like hurtful words being spit out from you. I see it here in the margin. This is when people say things like this. It's more looking, yeah, like you defending yourself, and maybe you act like you don't care. It might be that you have stopped some kind of communication. Maybe you have blocked someone. With the 4 of Swords is silent treatment. And here we have the High Priest. So it's the divine masculine. It's society. It's power, control, stubbornness, much like the Lord. But it's very spiritual, and it comes underneath the High Priestess. So I'm thinking you are starting to defend your feminine side with the masculine side. So that's actually a very, very good thing, because this is how it should be. We have the child here, then we have the witch, the queen or the mother around this child, that she kind of feels everything that your inner child feels. And the inner child is that antenna in the High Priestess. It's like the direct contact with God. It vibrates with the voice of God or the divine. So if you feel a bad feeling, here we have another child, this Princess of Wands. It comes from this vibration. Princess of Wands is longing. Princess of Pentacles is like you're valuing your mission, your true mission. So the child is the core or the antenna, and the mother is the one that feels everything, so can interpret in a grown-up way, like in a wise grown-up way, because the child will just, oh, it hurts. But the mother can say, yes, it hurts because you miss this person, or you feel betrayed because this and this. So she can interpret. And then above this should be the warrior that kind of protects the family. And it doesn't mean that the male needs to protect the feminine and the children in that way. This is in every person, male, female, it doesn't matter. Everyone has this or should have this, but sometimes we have something in the shadow. We have dropped our inner child because we don't dare to feel their feelings or their intuition. It hurts. It's a painful vibration. So we have silenced the inner child for good. So it lays somewhere, like on an attic, tied up, or in the basement, or in the bottom of the well or something. And then we can have, we don't want to listen to our feminine side because it's cautious us of a lot of things. You shouldn't drink, you need to do this. She's very wise, but if we have had a mother that was overbearing, we don't want to have the feminine side. And maybe she also prevents us from doing the things that we really want to do. And then some of us might have lost the Lord, the warrior here, because we wanted to be nice, We want to be nice and not hurtful towards other people. So we never said no. We always said just yes, 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 yes. But if we have all these three things in balance inside of ourselves, we become a very strong, self-loving, grown-up person that's like an asset for humanity on earth. It's these kind of people that they don't mind what happens. They are so strong and they find inner peace in themselves, and they trust themselves, they trust God, they trust the good, and they become utterly strong. They can even sacrifice their own lives for a greater cause. So I'm thinking what you're doing here is building up the warrior energy, the masculine warrior energy, and you're not going to let anyone hurt you from now on. And here we have the Hangman. So the Hangman is a card of waiting, sacrifices, giving up things that was of high value to you. It's about it's pregnancy as well. We see that they are making the 4 here, so it's connected to the Lord and the harvest that's being done by the Lord. But what's being harvested is the feminine energy. 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. The seed is feminine, the tree is feminine, the body is feminine, and the number 3 is the Empress. So this is about deciding where to use your power and when to not use it, when to invest and when to not invest. And here it's like, again, you're holding your horses and you don't want to invest in a particular situation. You're actually protecting yourself against this particular situation. You're building up walls that's higher than the towers of Babylon. Okay, so it's really intense energy here of defense, but also sacrifice, because I'm thinking what you are defending yourself against might be something that was once very valuable to you, because it's like you have awakened now and decided that you need to sacrifice this and instead defend yourself. And I'm thinking you're doing this to the honor of your inner child, and you have your inner child, the witch and the warrior here. So it's like your whole, the Holy Trinity is here for you. And you're ready to sacrifice outside circumstances and situation that doesn't value this Holy Trinity in the way you do. So any person that is trying to attack you or diminish you or make you feel less worthy, they are out the door. So that's a very beautiful thing, actually, even if it feels hurtful. So I will read something for you that's from the movie Beautiful Creatures from 2012, and it's a priest having a ceremony and talking about sacrifice. And he says like this: I don't want to preach today. Instead, I just want to talk to you about a word we don't hear much anymore: sacrifice. It's not what I call a modern word. People hear the word sacrifice and become afraid that something will be taken away from them, or they have to give up something they can't live without. Sacrifice to them means loss in a world telling us we can have it all. But I believe true sacrifice is a victory, because it requires our free will to give up something or someone you love for something or someone you love more than yourself. I won't lie to you, it's a gamble. Sacrifice won't take away the pain of loss, but it wins the battle against bitterness, the bitterness that dims the light on all that is of true value in our lives. I came to think about this because it feels like you are deliberately doing a sacrifice like this, and you're building up defenses against something that wants to lure you in or has a great appeal on you, because you don't need to put this much defense against one person or one situation, but if the enemy is on both inside and on the outside, because if we truly want something, we might be ready to sacrifice ourselves in the process to get it. But I'm thinking the sacrifice of yourself is now done, and you're instead going to sacrifice outside situations that is not vibrating in the same tune as to you. It's like it needs to vibrate in the same tune, so you will be able to give and receive, give and receive. And something is not vibrating together with you, and you still want it, but you need to say no here, and you are aware of it. Okay, so this is your future, and we have a Queen of Cups here. So Queen of Cups is Cancer. We have Aries here, Leo, Sagittarius. This is Aquarius, and maybe Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and a Cancer again here. So Queen of Cups, it's about your intuition on an inside level. It's about your intuition, and it's something here about being fragile or being like easily bruised. But you know, the prince, this inner child of yours, and the witch is more resilient than we can be led to believe. So if we can share their pain, like stay with the pain and be with that, you will train yourself to endure the frequency of you know, angel speaking, frequencies from another world, frequencies from the next you, like the future you, the next upgrade of you. So this trial by fire that you might want to avoid, like this pain that you want to avoid, is actually what's going to free you. So to feel the pain, not putting up defenses inside of you against your own pain, but actually going with it and saying, okay, I accept the pain of this loss. I accept the pain of this, what I need to say no to. I accept whatever I feel right now, and you start to work that through. You can paint pictures of the pain inside of you. You can also just stay with it. You can also change the vibration from the pain vibration and take it into other vibrations through meditation, for example. But the most important thing is to stay with it and digest it, because it's like you have blocked the Queen of Cups from feeling your inner child here, because you feel that maybe the pain of the inner child is hurtful. I have told you this story before about my dream with a little boy that fell from a second story balcony, and no one in my family around the kitchen table wanted to go down and check him out and see if he survived or call the ambulance, because they said, well, he was just so little and he fell this high, of course he's dead. And I run down and I see that he was still alive, and I called the ambulance and I stayed with him until the ambulance came. And this is what you seem to do here. You avoid to check out the entity that's hurt. Okay, you don't want to feel their pain. No, they are dead. I don't care. So you try to not feel yourself. You can't do that, because this double defenses, it's good you have defenses towards others that want to hurt you, but don't have this blockage inside of you. It's not good at all. It's not healthy. It's going to make you stay in the traumatic, because this is a person being exposed to trauma and therefore developing these skills here, and sometimes they can actually become the perpetrator instead, because they are hurting others in the same way that they was once hurt, because they are blocked off the connection between the witch and the mother, and this is not a good thing, because it will keep you with infected wound forever until you are ready to take down this blockage and let these two come together and start to feel the moon here, start to feel the pain. When you start to do this, feel the pain of maybe thousands of deaths in your past life, or 1 million heartbreaks and whatever it can be. It will be excruciating pain, but it's just pain. It's just a frequency vibration. It's like, imagine it to be like Wi-Fi connection that wants to download something inside of you. Maybe a beautiful song, but the downloading itself here in this entity might feel awkward. It's like tingling vibration or stabbing sensation or something else. So you don't want to download that song because it feels bad. But it's just a frequency that you are not that used to. It's a new frequency that will give you a new page in your book of wisdom. So don't, because here I see a person that's putting themselves in a position, I am not going to get hurt anymore. No one is going to get to me. But you can't allow yourself to have these boundaries inside yourself. disconnecting one entity from the other, one archetype from the other. They need to stand together as a holy trinity. They can't be separated. This might also be a mother being separated from their children, for example, in the outside world, or a person like that you know of that can't connect with their inner child because they are so darn stubborn here. So it can be different things, but inside of you, start to feel the pain. You don't have to feel it for a long period of time. Take just 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 minutes, and extend this. It's trial by fire, so you will be able to stand higher and higher frequency vibration with time, and that will also be your evolution. Your DNA will change as you are being able to tolerate more and more pain here. And I'm not talking about so much physical pain. You don't have to put yourself training really hard even though your lungs is about to burst. It's not about that. This is about listening to your body, not overruling it, but saying, okay, I accept whatever you feel, and I will be strong enough to also feel it together with you. So this is what you need to do, to cave towards your natural feelings here. So even if you put up like a facade or strength fortress towards someone else, maybe you say, I don't care about that job. I rather leave this company than stay without getting the promotion I deserve. You're still going to feel hurt inside. So have boundaries towards the other people, but still feel the hurt inside. Don't get cold and detached, because you're only traumatizing yourself even more. Okay, so, and here we have the Hermit. So we can see the likeness of this. You need to be able to feel whatever your different archetypes feel. So you take this light and put it wherever it needs to go inside of you. And it shows the wolf. It's the divine masculine in its not domesticated shape. It's a wild form. So it's the wild man. It's the Aaron John story for those of you that wants to learn more about this archetype and how you free it and heal it. Aaron John, it was a popular book in the 60s. You can still get like paperback copies of it. And here we have the flood, and here we have the stream. So this person is standing a little bit from the outside and seeing, like watching. So this is your soul, we can say. It's your I, and this is what am. This is the watcher, and this is the feelings. So you aren't your feelings. It's not that you are the feelings. You just watch them with your soul, with your I. Watching. You can watch the feelings, watch the thoughts, watch your own actions, listen to what other people say. You aren't what's happening inside of you. You aren't your thoughts, your feelings, or whatever is happening. The only thing that you really have is your conscious awareness, and that is the light here. Conscious awareness to investigate your feelings. So this seems what's going to happen for you in late August or going into September, that you're going to have to start to accept your feelings and not just... Sometimes we need to make ourselves hard as steel to be able to make a sacrifice. But after the sacrifice is done and we kind of said what we needed to say to defend ourselves and our like holy self here in that situation, but afterwards you need to digest and feel the feelings. You need to come down from this exhilaration of maybe winning by sacrificing, and then actually feeling the pain of loss. What they said in this, the priest said in this sacrifice speech, it's not going to save you from the pain of loss, and the pain of loss needs to be digested too. And it's actually what's going to give you wisdom from the situation. It holds the information, everything that needs to be downloaded in you, so you can upgrade and move on. But because if you refuse to feel the pain, you will have to relive this situation again and again and again and again to reopen the wound, reopen the wound until you are ready to, okay, darn it, bring it on then. I will be more courageous this time. And you just feels it's like burning on the stake. and you just feel it. And then you grow. Okay, you evolve. Your DNA changes. You heighten your frequency. And here we see the Four of Cups, so this is the digesting moment. So it seems like after this ground victory of yours, where you really have stand your ground and push the limits, like made more space around you, and like put clear rules for how people are allowed to treat you. The law of repulsion, telling universe what you don't want by standing up and fighting on the barricades. After that, you're going to have to digest the pain of loss, because it's still real. It's still what needs to come. It might be the most important phase of it all, and that it was really going to make you grow up. And also you need to admit to the love that you're still feeling, or the dream that you still have. Don't give it all up. It's like for Leo, they were giving up on codependency, and this is kind of what I'm seeing for you as well. So Four of Cups, that's a good thing actually. In many decks it's a person meditating on their feelings. Here it's a person rejecting what they are feeling, but this is what you need to overcome, the rejection. Don't reject everything you resist, persist. Say, put out the red carpet to your feeling of loss, and just vibrate with this pain until it has heightened your own vibration. So Six of Swords is like admitting the truth, at least to yourself, what you do love and how it feels. You don't have to say it to the one that you have put boundaries towards, like, oh, I still love you. No, you don't have to. You just feel it inside of you. I still love them, but I couldn't bear to be with them. And that's that. So I read the Seven of Wands card for you, so you can get another perspective maybe of the situation. Seven of Wands. Here you are defending your little circle here, your aura. So, yes, 7 is the number of magic. And the Seven of Wands, obstacles often appear in our lives to challenge us and to help us develop our inner strengths, and to provide us with learning experiences. And this is what you need. You kind of needed this experience to say no, but also to reopen this wound so it could get fresh air and once and for all become healed. Yes, it is possible that you are engaged in a struggle that challenges your supremacy or leadership or simply your judgment. But the energy of Wands combined with the meaning of the number 7 suggests you will find the struggle exhilarating. As each obstacle in life is negotiated, our knowledge and hopefully our wisdom increases. Every problem solved brings a strengthening of our abilities or character. The card may indicate that you are attempting to deal with confrontation, competition, or rivalry, or that you may be struggling with an inner rather than outer conflict. Whatever the challenge, it is likely that you are able to gain a clear vantage point with which to view the situation, and that you will succeed in what you are trying to achieve. You may find it helpful to combine introspection or meditation with the energy and enthusiasm you could be feeling at present. So what most of you are struggling with is that you don't want to admit to being hurt. You just want to be strong. You don't want to admit even for yourself that you are hurt, because it feels like a defeat, but it's not. It actually, your capitulation towards this, what you have put up a strong face towards, when you're capitulating to it inside of you, you can still stand strong on the outside. But when you're capitulating inside of you, that's a big win, because then you are not fearing anything or anyone anymore. If you are able to deal with your own feelings, so you can take on whatever. It doesn't matter what. Funny here. This is the backside of the card, Sacred Rebels, and this is one of the cards. So beyond the mind, the heart beats. So I'm not going to read this card for you, but I'm thinking it's kind of telling. Beyond the mind, the heart beats, because you still feel what you are feeling. It was a good job of you standing tall, standing strong, standing your ground, but still admit to what you are feeling. You wanted it to be different, but you had to be strong like this, and that is so good. You were this strong. You made this sacrifice. It's a huge success. And now you just need to deal with the aftermath, like the pain that comes from this sacrifice that you didn't want to do in the first place, but you were forced to by life's challenges, because this was what you were supposed to learn. To be a soldier for yourself, but have still your warm beating heart inside. Okay, so I will take a Sacred Rebels Oracle for you. And we have conscious connections. So if you keep it real inside of you, you also keep it real in your relationships. So there doesn't have to be any confusions with what people are really feeling inside you. You can feel the truth, even if people are putting up a brave face on the outside. So, conscious connections. There is a call for more intimacy in your immediate relationships. There is the opening for heart-to-heart communication that can salvage and restore a broken relationship or friendship. If you are willing to honor your differences and look to what unites you, sometimes it's hard to bear the difference between one another. One person may be willing to live life in high definition, whilst another may prefer to live it more vicariously, until they have the confidence to step onto the center stage of their own life story. We are not here to judge each other, just to love, to be loved, and to let go of those that cannot accept us as we open up to those who can. This oracle brings guidance for you to trust in the sanctuary of the connections in your life. If you have asked to experience a more sacred connection with people who truly get you and want to play life with you rather than at odds with or against you, then this oracle is confirmation that this manifestation is on its way to you now. It may or may not be obvious at first, but kindred spirits are going to enter your life to help you connect with your deeper feelings and creativity. They will give wings to your inspirational ideas and big dreams. And this is why this digestion is so important. Because if you pretend like you didn't get hurt, this situation will not be done. It will not be like the karma hasn't gone the full wheel. It's first when you have digested and really accepted the full weight of what happened, that you will be able to heal and let go and be ready for something new. So you need to, it's very important that you don't miss this stage of staying with also the pain of things. If you have been asking for healing in your current friendship or other immediate relationship, know that this can happen through your willingness to express your true feelings. And allow the situation to either fall apart or come together according to the greater workings of life. Yes, we saw in the beginning the Four of Pentacles, that secrecy keeping. So you want to be strong and you want to keep your secrets, but to be strong for real is to be authentic. So it might be to say, I would have loved to be your loved one forever, partner up with you. I would have loved to have this increased responsibility at my work, but you said no to me, and I still want you. Okay, I still want you, but I'm choosing to sacrifice this situation since it doesn't seem like you are valuing me as much at this workplace or in this relationship or in this family or whatever situation you're in. So you keep it real. Okay, you keep it real, you're honest about what you are feeling, and you're honest about you standing your ground, and you're still act vulnerable. So this is the most authentic and brave you can be, and it's going to free you. Okay, it's going to free you because it's taking away all the misunderstandings, all the lies, all the mistakes, all the confusion, and you tell it exactly as it is, both what your action is going to be and how you're feeling about it. I didn't want to do it. I still love you. I wanted this chance, but you didn't let me prove myself. Whatever happened here, you admit to how it is, and then it can like put a little seed into the situation, and the person will think, and next time there's like they need a person like you, they will call you. And they will say, okay, I've been thinking about what you said the day you left, and this is what I came up with. But first they also need to digest what has happened here and figuring it out. But at least you can be as clear as possible. So send out the message of what you truly want, but take the consequences for if they are not willing to give it to you. Yes, so to see here, yeah. Sometimes webs that have joined people together are broken, and that is appropriate, as people may outgrow what once held them together. Sometimes the tie that binds us together are so strong that they are able to withstand a great deal of pressure and still remain intact. The web of connection between us will sever or sustain based on the higher wisdom of life itself. Either way, healing happens in the resolution of our feelings, and we are once again able to feel free, forgive, and be ready to move on to the next stage of relating, either with a person who has been in connection with us for a time or with someone new. I surrender all my relationship into unconditional love and ask that the truly nurturing, soul-enriching, expansive and nurturing relationships be healed and drawn closer to my heart. I ask that the draining, depleting, destructive, or toxic relationship be drawn out of my life. Through unconditional love, mercy, grace, and my own free will, so be it. Imagine that you can breathe golden light in through the front of your body and out through the back of your body. Repeat the process with a rich emerald green light. Don't worry if you can't feel or see the light. Just intend to work with the light and relax. Finally, visualize, perceive, or see a beautiful beating heart with luminous green and golden parrot wings on either side of it. Imagine, perceive, or feel that there are many other beautiful beating hearts with parrot wings of different colors, and they are flying around together. Enjoy the playfulness of this vision, and in your own time, come back to the here and now. Feel the air on your skin. Notice the temperature of the room you are in and your feet on the floor. When you're ready, open your eyes and return to your day or evening. You have completed your healing process. To understand that there's beautiful beating heart just as yours out there, and they want to meet up with you, but you can't be hardened if you want that to happen. Okay, you need to be soft and yielding and open, but put boundaries towards where it's needed. Say no to the things you don't want, and yes to the things you do want. Okay, so my dear Sagittarius, I hope that this helped. I want to invite you to my webpage, www.queenofcupstarot.se. I also want to invite you back to my mid-month August reading that I will perform in the beginning of August. So have a really beautiful summer and take really good care until we meet again. Okay, bye-bye.